Hello, welcome to another video. This one is the latest update for the in development B17 by Microprose. And I can't remember which update it is. I'll see if I can put it into the comments. But it's very nice. New details on the aircraft, on the paint job. So graphical improvement, and there's also some flight modeling improvements as well. So we'll see how that, which should bring greater stability to the aircraft. So let's jump in. So this is as of what is it, 28th of November, or 29th of November, where I am. So let's see here. We're in the cockpit. Now let me just realign everything here. Okay, so looks nice. The outside was a distinct improvement from the previous version. Yep, just checking to make sure all of my controls are sufficiently bound. Yes. Gears down. Flaps. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, so let us commence getting this thing sorted. Now, I'm not sure. Oh, the other thing was, I think they have, in this update, brought in the landing lights. I see they haven't corrected the spelling error here, emergency with 2 M's. That's kind of annoying. But that's fine. Now, the landing lights apparently is a new thing that has been... Ooh, what's that? Hang on, we've got a couple of buttons over here. Oops. Now, problem is that whenever you zoom in, okay, landing lights, yeah, cool. So that's the landing lights here, that one and that one. Now, what I'm wondering is if I have that. Yes, I do. That is bound. Okay, so I'll put the landing lights on. Nice. That is bound to one of my switches. Then the magnetos, we'll switch them on. Fuel pumps. Filters. Okay, now I'll just make sure that my parking brake is, yep, that's on, that's fine. Alright, so let us get ourselves organized here. Okay, the wind direction looks like it's blowing that way, so we'll take off that way, I am thinking. Whoops. Oh my goodness. It's, yeah. Okay, there we go. Start engine. We'll start engine number 1. How does that sound? And a new sound pack, apparently. But I like the new weathering they have done. I don't think the cowling flaps, or the, no, they're not animated yet. Oh, what's that one? That one's number 3. That's good. Nice. 2. So I'm using now recently acquired Bravo throttle quadrant now as well, which gives me independent control over each of the 4 engines. So each one I can manipulate independently, which is nice. Alright, we're running. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring the flaps down at least 1 notch. Camera 1. Reset view. Okay. So let's... Looks like the sun's starting to set here, so we are at the Grand Canyon. Let's see. See if I can bring up. Bit of a map here. That is runway 21, I think. Runway 21 is recommended. Okay, that's good. But there is a bit of a crosswind. Okay, so let's go check out the Grand Canyon now. Do I have an entry point onto the? So we're at the Grand Canyon. Ooh, bit of a whoop! Holy moly! Okay, bit of a bump there. Hopefully that's not on the runway as well. That'll make the run up kind of interesting. Okay, runway 21. I don't have any traffic injected. We're gonna go down a bit of a hill here. Whoop! There we go. Okay, the controls, it seems to be a little bit less immediately responsive, which is not a bad thing, because I would have thought that, yeah, a big old B17 like this would not necessarily turn on a dime. You wouldn't expect it to. Okay. Okay, camera 8. Camera 8. Camera 9. Alright. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to bring that out of the way. Have a look at the aircraft. We've got the sun setting, I think. Reset view. We should have the flaps down a little. Okay, tail wheel is locked. Let's see if we can't take this beast up in the air. Okay. There she goes. Won't go too hard. Apparently, some of the flight dynamics, the center of gravity has been adjusted, I think, to enable the tail wheel to lift off first. There we go, tail wheel comes up. Oh my word. I am not sure about this now, because the tail wheel came up, so we've sort of lost a little bit of that stability on the run up there. Okay, we're up, that's good. I think we can bring the gear up now. There we go. I'm pulling back a fair bit on the stick. Flaps up. That's just a trim issue. Okay. Just a little bit of nose up trim. The propeller. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. That did a little bit of... Okay, so we've just brought down the RPMs. A little bit. Oh, hello. Okay, we'll turn around because I think the Grand Canyon's behind us. A little bit of... I might need to do some weather adjustments if it gets too dark, but we'll see how we go. Right, where the hell are we going? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Grand Canyon behind us, so we're going to keep going around. I haven't flown to the Grand Canyon before, so this should be fun. Nice. External view. That's changed the volume quite a lot. External view. External view. External view. External view. Now that's made it very loud. I don't disagree with. Just fiddling with the sound there to reduce the sound of the engine in the recording, because that was a bit of a shock going from the external to internal, and then it looks like the external sound has kind of like got stuck on maybe. Wow. There is definitely a improvement in the stability of the aircraft in this update, I would say. I don't feel like I'm fighting it like I was before. My word. That is quite the view. Beginning to see why people want to visit this place. Looks like we're getting some probably some updrafts and what have you. See if we can fly by one of these a bit closer. Oh, it's quite remarkable, isn't it? See if we can get some closer detail of the rock formation as we fly by. It's that's incredible. I never flew over the Grand Canyon before in Microsoft Flight Sim, including in 2020. But the graphics in this are quite jaw-dropping. Holy moly! So I'm running the Sim Update 4 beta, which really has just changed everything in this game. It's going to check. I don't know if I need to worry about fuel so much in this, but I'll pop some more in there anyway. It always seems to start on empty and I always seem to be fine. Holy moly, it's... I guess they call it the Grand Canyon for a pretty good reason. How's all of our temperatures and pressures, our T's and P's? Oh, okay, bit of turbulence there. It's a nice time. This is a real time, so it's about, I don't know, 9 or 10 in the morning here on a Sunday. And I think it's 3 or 4 p.m. somewhere around there local time here. Oh, yeah. So we're getting a bit of the sun coming down. Amazing, and you just get to these plateaus. Goodness gracious. I mean, just looking at this environment, you know, if there was something you wanted to dispose of, just take it to the edge of one of these cliffs and whoop. I mean, honestly, you'd never see it again. Really fine detail of the rock outcroppings. I don't know whether the sound volume that went up when you go outside the external view and then come back into the internal view is a bug, but I like the sound being up really high, because I imagine it would be really high, or really loud in one of these things. That's sometimes one of the criticisms leveled at aircraft in this game, is that the engines, particularly these big old prop planes, don't have loud enough engines. The JU-52 is a case in point. They sound great, but they're just way too quiet. Or look like some walking tracks down there or something. It's just so barren otherwise, isn't it? I wonder if people like hike over to those Let's have a look and see if there's any evidence of walking tracks on the top. I mean, I don't know how you get to them. You'd have to be choppered in. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm able to maintain the trim in this so much better now. Okay, nice update. Good update. Is that a building or just a rock down there? I think it's just a rock. Can't be a building, surely. Alright, let's get back before the sun completely sets. Flying into the sun, not a great idea. We need shades. Alright, there's the airport. Oh yeah, we're kind of flying in the right direction. Just got to keep going a bit further to the left. Can't help but imagine what it would be like to be in a real B17 flying over the Grand Canyon. Let's face it, it's probably never going to happen, so that's where simulators like this just really come into their own, particularly when they're so well rendered in terms of realism, as Flight Sim 24 is increasingly demonstrating itself to be. Wow, look at these ridges. Holy moly. I have to confess as well, the vegetation is very well done. When I flew the other day up Northern Australia in Darwin during the most recent cyclone, which I should have recorded, but I just didn't think of it at the time. The eucalypts were incredible. I landed on one of the islands just north of Darwin and went for a walk, and the eucalypts were so well rendered that even the bark on the trunks was distinctly eucalypt. So they've not only rendered like the shape and the foliage of the trees, but also the trunk, the bark, the branches. So credit where it's due on that one. Okay. Alright, so we've got a bit of a ways to go. We've got to cross over. So kind of, alright, we're in like a middle plateau here. Hanging up for the release of the PMDG 737 in 24. Got the one for 2020, of course, and PMDG are imminently, wow, going to be releasing it for 2024. Eagerly awaiting. It sounds like they've almost rebuilt it from the ground up, which is impressive. How about that? Holy. Reset view. Reset view. Reset view. Okay, it's not resetting the view. That's fun. I think that's the button. That's it, yeah. So I use voice attack because of VR. Usually it works, but sometimes it just doesn't quite pick up what I'm saying. I'd say 95% of the time it works. Pretty much a must-have for VR, flight simming, for me at least anyway. Okay, so the airport is not too far away. I'm going to guess that it's still runway 21. Okay, less of a crosswind at the moment, which is good. The crosswind's died down. Looks like it's a 7-knot headwind. I do not like landing this in a crosswind, I will confess. Okay. It's so loud. It's great. Guessing it's a bit to our left still. It's over here. I think I see it. What I'm going to do is I'll do a loop around. Runway 21, so we are facing, yeah, kind of west, which makes sense. We're flying into the sun at this point. Okay. Well, it looks like there's all sorts of other details on the ground. Is that like a Grand Canyon town or something associated with the airport? Decent sized airstrip. I wonder how big the planes are that land here. Too far away to see the windsock, but I see one down this end. I think there's one there, but I'm too far away. Okay. I keep slightly clipping out the window here. Slightly immersion braking, but that's alright. Okay. Wow, she's a big old girl to turn around. Definitely feels more stable, but also more lumbering, if that makes sense, in this update, which again I'm on board with, considering the thing we're supposed to be flying here. Just incredible. Okay. Yep, that looks right. That will be runway 21. Given our heading. Slight trim adjustments. Pretty stable flight now. Yep, it's much more stable. Much more stable. Aha, now that's interesting. It seems like it's just gone quieter again. Oh, now louder. Interesting. Well, it's a new sound pack, so maybe there are some things to figure out. Alright, let's commence the turn. I've also made some adjustments to the sensitivities of the rudder and the roll axes. Oh crap. That sun is gonna kill me. Is that? I'm gonna bring that up. Okay, so we do need to keep going around. Is that it there? Yeah, that's it there, isn't it? Alright, here goes nothing. Way too high, but we've got a lot of runway to work with, so I forgot to put my landing lights on, but oh well. Okay, well, it's not down the middle of the runway. Ooh, hello, there we go. Yep, smaller inputs there required, thank you. Okay, could have been worse. Ease on the brakes. External view. External view. Okay. know why I'm turning the yoke. That doesn't do anything at this point. It's not a car. Okay. Camera 7. Camera 6. See if we can check out the flaps going up. Nice. They do look better actually. A lot better the textures. Reset view. Reset view. There we go. Oops. Yeah. Not looking where I'm going. The sounds are, I mean, they were good before I thought, but they are much better now. Just absolutely brilliant. Very throaty, kind of guttural sounding engines, which is delightful. Love the sound as I adjust the throttle as well, throttling up and down, really nice. Yeah, okay, I gotta say it, Microprose are doing a pretty damn good job on this, and really nice updates too. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull in here somewhere. Tail wheel is still unlocked. Home before sundown, which is good. See how much we can swivel this around. Alright. Flat brakes. Oops. And parking brake on. Now let's see how the sound goes as we turn off each of these in turn. Okay, that's nice. I didn't like it before how they just like the sound instantly stopped. Now we've got this kind of fluttering as each one. This is much nicer. That's much better, yeah, because before when you turn them off it was just like instant noise cutout, whereas this time we've got clearly a little bit more of a transition in the noise. Nice. Very nice. Yep. Okay, that's great. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that very much. So I'm guessing this model is going to be the one that's going to be used by Microprose in the combat version of the B17 series of games that they're producing. So, which I applaud because this is very nice. Okay. Okay, everything off. All right. So that's it. That's a flight in the latest release of the Microprose B17 over the Grand Canyon at approaching the end of the day, sunset. So got some really nice conditions there for sunset. Again, highly recommend picking this up if you're thinking about it. It's on cheaper now than it will be when it's out on release, I gather, as they're in the development phase. So yeah, now's a great time to pick up the B17 if you haven't already. All right, thanks for watching.